let me just tell you a little bit about this lady. At the start of her journey, I'm not going to give too much away about her journey because that's what she's going to share with you tonight. But at the start of her journey, she dressed up as a clown and danced to My Best Life on Giant's Causeway. There's not many people can say that. So give her a huge welcome, and we're delighted to have her here speaking to us tonight. That's Layla Moroney. Where is she? Here we go. Take it away, honey. You've got the spotlight.
Hi. Oh, big screen. How's everyone? Thanks a million, Amanda, for letting me talk. The first thing I'm going to say is I really believe that people's paths cross for a reason, both people and experience in life. And my 12-week journey started in October 2018, but it was 20 years in the making, that 12-week journey, because this is a weight loss transformation story. Okay, my weight problems would have started when I was 18. I was pregnant at 18 and just kind of took that eating for two, maybe business a little bit too far, and put on a lot of weight. Wouldn't have been a fat kid, wouldn't have had problems as a kid, just the usual Irish mammy dinners, etc. So yeah, that's where my weight problem started. Would have put on 4 or 5 stone on that pregnancy. Went on to have Christian, who's now 21, and he was safe and well, thank God. And I lost 4 stone with Weight Watchers at the time. I never really learned anything from it. I just kind of lost the weight and got on with life, and would have fluctuated then over the course of them 20 years. Would have had some success with Slimming World, would have tried the cabbage soup diets, the herbal life, diet pills from the internet, you name it, I tried it, like a lot of women, and probably men too, but I definitely think the women, the old cabbage soup diet, that was one we shouldn't be going back to. But yeah, so I would have lost weight but never really learned anything, and would have piled it back on each time and some. At my heaviest weight, I was 19 stone, and last 2018, kind of a lot of stuff came to a head for me. Like anyone over the years, you can use excuses. I was a young mom even, and we had Kai, and he had a few issues and stuff that we needed to figure out along the way. My mom had breast cancer. I was diagnosed with an inflammatory bowel disease. So all these could have helped maybe me become obese. I don't know, but I think they do. I do think they don't help situations when you've stress in your life like that. But look, we got through them. And February 2018, I was in for a routine MRI scan on my back. I was having back issues. Kind of waited 2 or 3 years for the MRI. Pain kind of went away, and I just put it down. Look, I'm overweight. That's what it was. I won't go for this MRI. I'll just cancel the appointment. And Stephen and my mum and stuff said, just go use the appointment, go and get it done. And during that MRI, a 1.8 centimeter mass was found in my kidneys, and they ring me to tell me this. Remember, I was in for a routine back scan. It was nothing to do with my kidneys. So this came out of the blue. I said, oh, it's just a cyst, is it? And they decided to say, no, it's a mass. It doesn't look like a cyst. It's a mass, 1.8 centimeters. And we need to figure out what it is. So I thought I was dying. I have myself 6 feet under. I'm sitting on the bed that I lay in during that time in a ball, in an absolute ball, crying, wondering how the hell am I going to get through this? I was 18 stone at that point. I kept thinking, how are they going to cut me open? How am I going to recover? And all these thoughts just snowballed. And they went on for about 8 or 9 weeks of different appointments and scans. Thankfully, it wasn't anything. It was actually a flare on the MRI, a mirror image, whatever it was, caused all that worry and stress. But I remember in the CAT scan, speaking to my uncle who had just passed away, quite recent before it. And I was going through the CAT scan. And I said, if you can make me all right, I'll sort myself out. And I said it out loud going through. I'm sure the nurses thought, look at this crazy woman, she's talking to herself. But that was me getting through that CAT scan. And as I say, thankfully, I was okay. But it took me all that summer to not do anything, to just keep going the way I was going. And then August, I would have taken up a little walking challenge. I think with me, I always tried. And that's a message for anybody to take. If there's something that you're really passionate about, or if there's something that you think about every day, don't give up on it. And for me, that was the weight loss thing. I never wanted to accept, I never wanted to be a size 20 or 22. I never gave up trying, although I failed. And as I said, although I had some success along the way, but I don't see them as failures now, because I do think they led me on the path I was supposed to be on. So fast forward, as I say, to October 2018, I had come across this trainer online, and he was real cheeky and real out there and upfront with everybody, and something just stuck with me with him. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try. I had tried it back in the January, his online program, but because of the health scare, I just threw it there and I couldn't face it, and didn't do anything with it until the October. And this 12-week challenge came about. And I said to Stephen, I said, you know what, I'm going to just give this one more go. There's something in it, and he's just connecting with me. What he's saying is connecting with me. I think I'll give it another go. And Stephen, being his usual supportive self, whatever, go ahead, go and do it, you know. So I signed up for that 12 weeks at 18 stone, pushing into a size 24. I was a size 22, but well on my way to a 24. Had tried gyms over the years, but kind of walked on the treadmill and that was it, and a couple of boot camps here and there, etc. Started the 12 weeks with the view of losing a stone. If I could just get that stone off, and then I can do the rest myself. Well, in that 12 weeks, I won membership for a local gym. They did a Facebook competition. I told them I was really going to make an effort if I won it, because I was doing this online challenge and it really helped and whatever. So I did with it. And I walked into the gym at 18 stone in badly fitting pennies gym gear, pulling them up and looking like absolute rubbish. I'm feeling like absolute rubbish. But I walked in, and it took a lot. And, you know, some people can be afraid of the gym, or afraid of, you know, maybe walking into a workshop, or walking in maybe to We Can and We Will, to a networking event. But sometimes you have to just feel the fear and do it, and just go and do it. And that's what I did with the gym. And I found in the gym a new love of weights and lifting weights and moving my body. And as this 12 weeks progressed, I was eating well, I was moving well. I'd set myself these challenges. There's a local Killiney Hill here in Dunleary, and they have this series of steps on it. There's 239 steps. At the start of the challenge, I could barely do it once. You know, I knew I could eventually work up to 8, because I'd done 8 a few years previously. So I'd set myself, I'm going to do 8 by the end of the 12 weeks. Well, by week 9, I did it 9 times, up and down these 239 steps, just climbing them up and down for like 2 hours or something. I've since gone on to do them 15 times. But to me, that was just that mental challenge of overcoming something. And one of the guys in the online challenge spoke about every time I went, they're called the cat's ladder. Every time I went to the cat's ladder, and every step I took, I was leaving a little piece of the old Layla behind. And even now when I go up there, that's what I think. It means so much to me. And I'd love, if any of you guys are ever in Killiney End, hook me up, because I bring everyone up there, because I love bringing people up and sharing that journey. And a lot of people did share it with me at the time. So about week 3 of the challenge, I was losing consistently. I was dropping weight consistently each week. And around week 3, the Irish crew in this online academy I was in start seeing something in me. And I don't know what they're saying, but they kept saying, Layla, you could win this, you know. And it was that soon, like 3 weeks in. I said, don't be silly. But of course I started entertaining the idea then, you know. And then week 5, people from the UK and other places, Layla for Fiji, Layla, you could win this thing. And the clothes start dropping and the zips start getting closer on the skirts. And again, every single week of 12 weeks, I lost weight, because I'd had enough. And I think I don't think it was a magic bullet this time. I just had enough. And I decided, well, I've given it a go other times, but what's going to happen if I really give it a go and if I really learn? And I opened up, and I think this is a big difference this time. I opened up a world of not just looking at the weighing scales as a measure of success. And when I stopped looking at that as a measure of success, it was still going down every week. So it was still a good measure. But to me, it was being able to climb those steps. It was lifting an extra weight in the gym. It was the messages I was getting online because I was out for a walk. Somebody in Australia was out walking, and I had shared my journey on Instagram mainly. And a lot of people would have been connecting with me both within the academy and outside it as followers grew. So that gave me a huge buzz, knowing that I was helping other people by me simply sharing my ups and downs. I even shared like my underwear photographs and everything online, and that took a lot. And I thought about it a lot, and I didn't rush into it because I was very conscious of the boys here and the ages they were at, and if they'd be behind it. But in the end, for me personally, it was probably the best thing I could do because it made me accountable. And it meant I've put them there now. I ain't going to go back to that size. And still, by sharing even now, that's what that does for me. It ensures I never go back, never. Well, I went and won that challenge. Little old Layla from Ireland went and won a worldwide online competition. I'd say the same guy has over 500,000 followers now. His name is James Smith. He did change my life, and I would definitely say he's one of the most influential men in my life because of whatever penny he dropped at me. But I did the work. He set up the academy and gave the information, but I did the work, and I don't take that lightly anymore. Maybe at the start it would have been all about what the academy did for me, but now I can say, well, I did it. It was me who did it, and I'm proud of it. So at the time, you had a choice with that competition. You could either take the money or go on this trip to Fiji. So I said, yes, the money would have been nice. You know, a list like anyone else, things we could have done in the house and whatever. And I said, you know what, trips to Fiji don't come very often, and definitely not free ones. Go on the bloody trip. So we went, myself and my husband went over to Fiji, where we meet James in Fiji, and he spends the week with us. While we were there, I would have done gym sessions with him. I would have learned to swim. I couldn't swim. I tried to learn to swim before I went. He gave me lessons over there. I can swim a half length now, fine. I just can't come out and go back in, but I get there with that. But I did get in, and he did teach me a lot while I was there. Another thing I did while I was there was zip wiring. Kind of a year and a half previous, Kai, my son, and Stephen, the husband, were up in Bray in a zip wire place in Bray, a little forest park thing. And I says, you know, if I lose the weight, always making these promises, if I lose the weight, I'd try that, you know. And I am the most panic-stricken person you'd ever meet in your life. I'm afraid of my own shadow at the best of times. But I'd planned to do this thing in Bray. And one of the girls out of the academy knew this. And I had mentioned, I'd done the research on Fiji and seen they had this zip wire park. And I said, wouldn't it be magic if I did it over there? So Amanda, the lovely Amanda from the academy, made sure to text James and say, do not let her back out. That is one of her goals, is to do a zip wire. So it was 165 meters in the air, over a gorge in the middle of the most beautiful place in the world. Absolutely stunning. And the first one, I said, I can't do it. Cried. Stephen and James had gone. The deal was one was going to wait with me, one was going to go, and I'd meet, you know, either one at either end of this zip if I did it. And both of them just went and left me on this ledge with the guide. Cried, can't do it, I'm not doing it. And the guides were so good that the first one, he says, you come with me, you do it with me. So I sat kind of on his lap and off we went. And after that, it was, I'll do it in a few minutes. I'll try the next one with a guide. And James said, you know, Layla, that's still on. Do the next one on your own and see how you feel. So I did. And I did 2 more on my own as well. Over, as I said, these big gorges, big lakes, absolutely terrified. I've never known sweat like it to come off my body with sheer terror, absolute terror at what I was doing, but I did it. And I also went jet skiing that I'd never done before. And not only can I not swim, I'm terrified of it. So I'm sitting on this jet ski for dear life. The deal was I just sit and watch the other guys snorkel. And again, the wonderful guides, no, you don't come to Fiji and not do it. I can't swim, I'm not going in. You have a life jacket, you'll be fine. So I had to trust the life jacket, and I had to trust the guide and Stephen and James that they were going to let me drown. And I was going to come home to my babies, us living it up over there. And I got into the sea in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the most beautiful. I've never seen such beauty like what I seen when I put my head under that water. And that sustains me now so much, knowing that I seen it, and hopefully see it somewhere else another day. But it's all that was about to me was facing them fears. And I also knew there was so many people at home watching that would have given their right arm to be where I was. So I needed to make the most of it. And I couldn't let them down or myself by being a stick in the mud and not trying these things. So I just tried them, although I was terrified. And again, I would have shared this journey with a lot of people on Instagram and whatever, and the followers were growing and the story was growing. And me, somebody joked that it was like Mrs. Brown meets Love Island. He's a professional PT. He looks great. So there's poor old Ginger Stephen beside him, my gorgeous husband, with his tattoos and his ginger baldy head and his beard, and pale face Layla with her freckles and her white skin, because I didn't go for a tan, and I just went as I am and who I am, and that's just it, and that's what I did. And everybody loved the story behind it. They hit this guy helping her to swim while the husband videos are just wonderful. We sat on a bar in the middle of the Pacific on stilts. You just get a boat to it, and it's just in the middle of the bluest sea ever, and you're listening to stories. And I was listening to stories of these young guys after traveling the world, and that's something I missed out on with having Christian Young. And I remember kind of feeling a little bit down and just, I shouldn't be here. And, we were the oldest on this pub. And like I say, I was still the fattest, no matter how great I felt of myself. I was still the biggest. And I just felt, what am I doing? Look at me here. But it gave me such hope for Christian and for Kai, for when they're older, that I want them to travel and have them experiences. And I was just so thankful that I got to have them. And I celebrated my 39th birthday over there. So the trip came to an end, and trained as qualified as a personal trainer last July. The hardest thing that was probably harder than stepping off that ledge in Fiji. It was a 6 weeks full-time, very intense, on the floor of a gym course here in Blackrock. And every day I went in there and doubted myself, every single day. There was not one day where I felt, yes, I can do it. I struggled through every second in there. Not because of my knowledge, not because of my effort, just because I didn't believe that I could do it or should. But yet I still went every day. I still got up and went, and every day I can't do it. I'm going home. And I didn't quit. I didn't quit. And it was the same this time with losing the weight. I wanted to see what would happen when I didn't quit, when I didn't give up, when I did it in a balanced way. I haven't given up any foods. I haven't given up the odd drink. In fact, I'd say my social life has improved no end, because I was stuck before this. I was stuck in just such a circle of anxiety and feeling low and just not feeling myself. I just wasn't. I was never myself at a size 20 or 22 ever. so it would have been just that cycle of sitting on the sofa, eating and you know, not doing very much. Although I had I'd get up and go. I would say I probably would be one of them bubbly, overweight people. I was never like a little wallflower either, but I definitely hadn't got. I've a much better, happier life now. It's a fuller life, because I feel with dieting, it's not so much what you take away from it, it's what you add to your life that makes a difference. And what I added this time round was knowledge, proper, real knowledge around food and exercise. It was self-development and personal development, reading the books, meeting the people, being choosy about who you follow online and what you listen to and what you absorb, going out and meeting new people while appreciating all the old people in my life that are long-term people in my life. I've been to Fiji, I've been to Cheltenham, I've been to Newcastle, I've been to the Giant's Causeway, Kildare, all through this wonderful online group I was on. I'm quite new to We Can and We Will. I don't know too many of you, but I'm looking forward to hopefully making the same friends and the same memories with you guys as I've made with JSA. That's it, you know. And I have a couple of things written down, and I'm going to just finish on a poem. I say sometimes we have to push ourselves beyond our comfort zone, just like stepping off that ledge. If there's a ledge you're waiting to jump off, just do it. Don't wait around, because life is too short. Life is about people, places, and the moments that take our breath away. Be sure to grasp each of them moments, and be sure to be aware of them when they're happening in front of you. And I'm going to finish on a poem. This is one I wrote myself. Ian, it's funny how you mentioned about Patrick with the time thing resonating with you, because when you said it, it resonated with me. Poetry and writing is something that lights me up since I could pick up a pencil at age 3 or 4. I've always done it, and I am more mindful of putting the time into it now since the last talk, so thank you for that. I do a creative writing course, but I generally kind of do it in the course and then leave and not do much with it, so I'm doing it more, so thank you. So here is one that I've written quite recently. Okay. I didn't know how sad I looked until I look back now. I didn't know how I got up, but up I got somehow. I didn't know how things would change. It came as a surprise. I didn't know just what I'd see in the sparkle of my eyes. I didn't know how hard I'd work, the smiles, the sweat, the tears. I didn't know I'd see myself while facing all my fears. I didn't know just how I'd losing weight was what each distance getting longer. I didn't know the friends I'd make, the laughs, the support we share. I didn't know the things I'd post would show so many care. I didn't know just how big a bold journey this would be. I didn't know I'd go ahead and create a whole new me. I didn't know, but now I do. There's many things I've learned. I didn't know, but now I do. Success isn't won, it's earned. I didn't know, but now I do. I'm braver than I thought. I didn't know, but now I do each battle that I fought. So if someone tells me now, you've so much more to go, I'll simply answer with a smile and 2 simple words, I know. And that's it. Thank you. Yeah. Done.
Incredible.
Wow, Layla. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody's clapping here on Zoom. I have lump in my throat, I have tears in my eyes, totally moved emotionally. I felt every single part. I was with you on that journey in that story. Absolutely
Thank you for sharing, Layla.
Incredible. And I hope this inspires so many more people to follow. And what I wrote down here is never stop trying. And you know what? We need people around us who see something in us. We absolutely, because sometimes when we can't see that greatness in ourselves, we need those people who have the vision and have our back and have our best interests. So thank you.